we are going to study properties of water. My dear student, we are going to study the properties of water with the help of activity which is given in our book. My dear student, we will take vessel of different shape and fill it with water. My dear student, when we fill vessels of different shape with water, the water will occupy all the space which is available inside the vessel. From this activity, we can say that water has no definite shape, it has definite mass and a definite volume. My dear student, if we take different vessels of different shape and pour it with water, you will see that water will occupy all the space available inside this vessel. From this activity, we can say that water has no definite shape, but it has definite mass and volume. My dear student, let's study the another activity which is given in our book. Let's take a container and make some hole in the container. When we take a container and make some hole in the container and pour in water inside the container, my dear student, you will observe that the water will flow from the small holes in a container. Here we see that the water flows and therefore we can say water is fluid. The substance which flow can be called as fluid. My dear student, we have taken a container and made some holes in a container. When we fill water inside the container, we see that the water flows from the holes made in a container. My dear student, here the water flows and therefore we can say water is a fluid. My dear student, below 4 degrees Celsius, the water expands. This is the unique property of water and it is called as analogous behavior of water. It is also called as abnormal behavior of water. My dear student, the water expands below 4 degrees Celsius. This unique property of water is called as abnormal behavior of water or analogous behavior of water. Let's study this abnormal behavior of water. My dear student, all the substance whose temperature is reduced, they contract and their volume decreases and their density increases. My dear student, when we reduce the temperature of a substance, then the substance will contract. When the substance will contract, its volume will reduce. And when its volume will reduce, its density will increase. It takes place in all substances. Water also behaves in such a way. When the temperature of water is reduced, water also contracts and the volume of the water also gets reduced and its density increases. But it happens only up to 4 degrees Celsius. This takes place only up to 4 degrees Celsius. And therefore, at 4 degrees Celsius, we can say that the water have maximum density. But below 4 degrees Celsius, here we see abnormal behavior of water. My dear student, when we reduce the temperature of a substance, the substance contracts. When the substance contracts, its volume becomes less. Its volume becomes less, but its density increases. Water also behaves in the same way. when we reduce the temperature of water, the water contracts. As the water contracts, its volume also reduces, but its density increases. But this takes place only up to 4 degrees Celsius. So my dear student, at 4 degrees Celsius, we can say that the density of water is maximum. Below this 4 degree, here the water show abnormal behavior. What is the abnormal behavior of water? We will see. Below 4 degree Celsius water, the volume of the water, instead of contracting, it expands. And as water expands, its volume increases. My dear student, below 4 degrees Celsius, the water shows abnormal behavior. When the temperature of water comes below 4 degrees Celsius, then the water expands instead of contracting. As the volume increases, when the water expands, the density decreases. And this is abnormal behavior. My dear student, when we reduce the temperature of water to 4 degrees Celsius, then the water, instead of contracting, it expands. And when the water expands, its volume increases. And when its volume increases, its density decreases. And as the density of water decreases below 4 degrees Celsius, the ice formation takes place at 0 degrees Celsius. And at 0 degrees Celsius, the density of ice becomes less. My dear student, the freezing of ice takes place at 0 degree Celsius. And we have seen that the maximum density of water is at 4 degrees Celsius. When we reduce the temperature of water below 4 degrees Celsius, water expands instead of contracting. Due to which, what happens? The volume of the water increases. As the volume of the water increases, the density decreases. The density decreases. Formation of ice takes place at 0 degree centigrade. And therefore, we can say ice is lighter than water. And therefore, my dear student, in this diagram, you will see formation of ice at the surface of the water. The density of ice is less than the density of water, and therefore formation of ice takes place at the surface of the water. Due to which, below the level of ice, below the layer of ice, there is water. And this water helps the aquatic animal to survive. And therefore, abnormal behavior plays an important role in survival of aquatic life. My dear student, here we learn that the density of ice is less than the density of water. The same activity we can study with another activity. Here, my dear student, we have taken a glass and fill it with water and put some ice cube in the water. In this diagram, we will see that the ice cube float on water. What is the reason behind the ice cube floating on the water? The reason is that the density of ice is less than water, and therefore it floats on water. So my dear student, we can say that when water freezes to ice, its density decreases and it becomes lighter than water, and therefore it floats on water. So my dear student, one more property we can say, that is density of ice is less than density of water. We take one more example. My dear student, in this example we have taken a beaker, and in this beaker we have poured water, and then we have dropped a potato into the water. Now in this activity you will see that the potato does not float on the water, but it has come to the bottom of the beaker. Means it has sink into the beaker. What is the reason? Does density is responsible for this activity? Yes, density is responsible. In this activity, my dear student, the density of potato is more than the density of water. And as the density of potato is more than the density of water, then what happened? This potato did not float on the water, but it sank to the bottom of the beaker containing water. Now my dear student, we will take the same water and add 6 to 7 spoons of salt in it. Then we will get a solution of salt. My dear student, here in this beaker we have made a solution of salt, and then put the same potato in this beaker. Now in this activity, my dear student, you will see that the same potato started floating on the water. Now, is density responsible for the floating of the potato? Yes. Now what happened? The density of the salt solution increased, and the density of the potato now is less, and the density of salt solution is more, and as the density of potato is less than the density of salt solution, the potato floats on the water. So floating of a substance on another substance depend upon the density of that substance. My dear student, if we consider all these three activities here, ice and potato have less density than water and salt solution in the respective activity. And as ice and potato is having less density, they both float in water and salt solution respectively. But my dear student, here we have seen the density of the potato is more and the density of water is less, and therefore potato has sink at the bottom of the beaker. My dear student, here in anomalous behavior and also the factor responsible for floating of the substance, we have considered density. But what is density? Let's have brainstorming over density. First we will try to understand the definition of density. Density is a measure of how compact the matter is arranged in a substance. One more time. What is density? My dear student, density tells us how the matter is arranged in a substance or an object. Density. Density is a measure of how compact, tightly, or how they are arranged. The mass or matter in a substance or object. My dear student, we all know all the substances are made up of matter, and all the matters are made up of atoms and molecules. My dear student, density tells us how tightly, how compactly the mass or matter or atoms and molecules of a substance are arranged. There is one definition given in our book. First we will study the definition and also the formula. What is the definition? Density is a measure of how compactly, tightly the atoms, molecule, mass or matter of a substance is arranged. My dear student, in our book there is a formula of density given. Let's study the formula of density. Here, my dear student, density is equal to mass upon volume. The formula of density given in our book is density is equal to mass upon volume. From this formula, my dear student, if we keep the mass of a body same or constant, then we can say density is inversely proportional to volume. One more time. My dear student, in our book, a formula of density is given. Density is equal to mass upon volume. If we keep the mass of a substance constant or same, then we can say that density is inversely proportional to volume. My dear student, in maths we have studied the inversely proportional. When the quantity of one substance is increased and the quantity of another substance decrease, then we can say that both the substances are inversely proportional to each other. When the substance quantity is increased, then the other substance quantity decrease, or when the quantity of one substance increase, then the quantity of other substance decrease, then we can say that both the quantities are inversely proportional to each other. Then my dear student, the same principle we will use in the definition of density. Here, if the mass of a substance is kept constant, then we say that density is inversely proportional to volume. It means that if the volume is increased, the density will decrease, and if the volume is decreased, then the density will increase. My dear student, the same thing happened in the example which we studied. When we reduce the temperature of a substance, here my dear student, if we reduce the temperature of a substance, the substance contract. When the substance contract, its volume reduces. And when its volume reduces, what happened? Volume is inversely proportional to density. So when the volume is reduced, then the density will increase. And in this way, my dear student, we have also studied what is density. My dear student, when water is converted to ice, its density is reduced. And as its density is reduced, it starts floating upon water. And in the example also we have seen here that ice floats on water, ice floats on water, and this abnormal behavior of water helps the aquatic animals to survive in the cold countries. My dear student, in order to study that the floating of an object depends upon the density of an object. we have studied density. And we also have studied formation of salt solution. My dear student, when we take water and put salt in it, what happens? The salt particles spread in the water, and slowly the size of the particle becomes smaller and smaller. After some time, they become so small that they are not visible to us. In this condition, we say that the salt is completely dissolved in water, and now we get a new substance which is called as salt solution. My dear student, in this activity, the salt dissolve. The substance which dissolve is called as solute, and the substance in which it dissolved, it is called as solvent. My dear student, in this activity, we have seen that when we put salt in the water, we get salt solution. The salt dissolve. So, the substance which dissolved is called as solute. So, in this activity, my dear student, we can say that salt is solute and the substance that dissolved. The other substance is called as solvent. The substance in which solute dissolved is called as solvent. In this activity, we can say that water is solvent because salt, which is a solute, dissolved in water. So here, water is solvent. The substance in which solute dissolved is called as solvent. My dear student, when solute dissolved in solvent, we get a solution. So here the solute, which is salt, dissolved in solvent, which is water, we get a solution which is called as salt solution. Solution. When solute dissolved in solvent, we get solution. My dear student, water is a universal solvent. Water is a universal solvent. As many substances are dissolved in it. My dear student, water is a universal solvent because many substances dissolve in it. So my dear student, today we have studied properties of water. The first property of water is water has no definite shape, but it has definite mass and volume. Water can flow and therefore water is a fluid. Water expands when its temperature falls below 4 degrees Celsius. This unique property of water is called as abnormal behavior of water or analogous behavior of water. Water is a universal solvent as many salt or many substances are dissolved in it. The density of ice is less than the density of water. Density is a measure of how compact the mass in a substance or object is arranged. Salt is solute, the substance that dissolves. My dear student, the substance that dissolves is called as solute. Solvent, here in this example of salt solution, solvent is water. The substance in which solute dissolved is called as solvent. My dear student, solution. When solute dissolved in solvent, we get solution. One more time, we'll have brainstorming and then we will stop. My dear student, we are studying properties of water. My dear student, if we take vessels of different shape and fill it with water, the water will take all the available space inside the vessel. From this activity, we can say that water has no definite shape, but it has definite mass and definite volume. My dear student, if you take a container and fill it with water, and if that container is having some holes, you will see that the water starts flowing through these holes. Here we observe that water can flow, and the substance which can flow is called as fluid. So we can say that the second property of water is that water is a fluid. My dear student, generally when the temperature of a substance is reduced, when the temperature is reduced of a substance, then it contracts. When it contracts, its volume also reduces. My dear student, when the temperature of a substance is reduced, it contracts, its volume also reduces. But its density increase. Its density increase. This takes place in water also. Water also start contracting when the temperature is reduced. The volume of the water also reduce when we reduce the temperature of water. And the density of the water goes on increasing as the volume decreases. But my dear student, this takes place only up to 4 degrees Celsius. Means at 4 degrees Celsius we can say that the water has maximum density. But below 4 degrees Celsius, here water shows abnormal behavior. Water shows analogous behavior. Now what is this abnormal behavior? When we reduce the temperature of water below 4 degrees, then in spite of contracting, the water expands. And when the water expands, the volume of the water increases. When the volume of the water increases, the density of the water decreases. The density of the water decreases. My dear student, this behavior of water is called as anomalous behavior of water, abnormal behavior of water. Water expand when its temperature. Water expand when its temperature falls below 4 degrees Celsius. This unique property of water is called the anomalous behavior of water, the abnormal behavior of water. My dear student, we know that water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius. And we have seen that below 4 degrees Celsius, what happens? Water expands. Water expands and its volume increases, but its density decreases. When the density of ice decreases, it starts floating on the water. In this example, my dear student, freezing of water takes place at 0 degrees Celsius, and as below 4 degrees Celsius, the volume increases and the density decreases. So ice becomes lighter than water, and as ice is lighter than water, we see formation of ice on the surface of the water. This takes place due to abnormal behavior of water. But inside this layer of ice, there is water. And as there is water below the layer of ice, the aquatic life inside the water, they survive. My dear student, and therefore abnormal behavior of water, analogous behavior of water helps the living organism to survive in cold countries where the lake and the river freeze. But inside the layer of ice, water is in liquid state, and this helps the aquatic life to survive. Now my dear student, here we have considered an activity. In this activity we have taken water and then we have put some ice on the water. And here we have seen that water, when get converted to ice, its density decreases. When its density decreases, what will happen? It starts floating on the surface of the water. Here, my dear student, water density is more and ice density is less. In the same way, if you take a salt solution and then put a potato on it, and if we find that the potato is floating on the salt solution, we can say that the density of salt solution is more than the density of potato. And therefore, as the density of ice in this activity and the density of potato in this activity is less than water in this activity and salt solution in this activity is more, what happens? Ice and water, they float in the respective activity. But my dear student, here if you take water and put the same potato inside the vessel having water, we see that the potato does not float but it sinks down. Now what is the reason? The reason is that now the density of potato is more and the density of water is less. So my dear student, from this activity we learn that the object float on the water or it might sink inside the water. Both this activity depends upon density of the respective substance. My dear student, what is density? Density tells us how compactly, how tightly the mass, the matter, the atoms, the molecule of the substance are arranged. My dear student, in our book there is a formula for density. Density is equal to mass upon volume. What is density? Density is a measure of how tightly, compactly the mass, matter, atoms, molecule in a substance are arranged. My dear student, according to this formula, if we keep the mass of an object same or constant, then we can say that density is inversely proportional to volume. Density is inversely proportional to volume. My dear student, inversely proportional means if the quantity of one substance is increased, then the quantity of another substance will decrease. And if the quantity of one substance is increased, then the quantity of another substance will decrease. Now my dear student, here density is inversely proportional to volume. So what will happen? If volume is increased, density will decrease. Or if the volume is decreased, then the density will increase. This thing we have to keep in mind. And the same thing happened in an example which we have studied. See my dear student, when the temperature is reduced, the substance contracts, and when the substance contracts, its value reduces, becomes low. The volume reduces, and volume and density are inversely proportional to each other. So when volume is reduced, density will increase. When volume is increased, then the density will decrease. So density is also responsible for the floating of an object. My dear student, by studying density and floating object, we made a short solution. My dear student, when we put salt into water, we see that the particles of salt start becoming smaller and smaller, and after some time the particles of salt become so small that they are not visible to us. In this condition, we can say that salt is completely dissolved in water. The substance which dissolved is called as solute, and the substance in which solute dissolved is called as solvent. When the solute dissolved in solvent, we get solution. My dear student, in this activity, salt dissolve. Therefore, salt is called as solute. The salt dissolved in water, and therefore water is called as solvent. When the solute dissolved in solvent, we get solution. In this activity, salt dissolved in water and we get the solution which is called as what? Salt solution. My dear student, water is called as universal solvent. Now why water is called as universal solvent? Water is called as universal solvent because many solute can dissolve in this solvent. Means many substances are soluble in it, and therefore we can say that water is a universal solvent in which many solute can dissolve. That's all, student. I hope you have enjoyed today's lecture and will keep it in mind and will use this knowledge in your future studies. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Take care.